All right, so we're diving into some tech stocks today, ones that haven't exactly been keeping up with the rest of the tech sector's boom.
Right, kind of lagging behind, you could
Yeah,
say.
exactly. We're talking about PayPal, that's PYPL for you stock folks out there.
hmm
Alphabet, GOOG, Google's parent company.
Right.
And then ASML Holding, ASML. Big companies, but their stocks, well, they're not setting the market on fire right now.
Nope, not really.
So that's what we're looking at today. Are these companies actually undervalued, like hidden gems just waiting to be discovered?
Yeah, are they diamonds in the rough?
Exactly. Or are there some, red flags, some warnings that maybe the average investor like myself might be missing?
That's what we're here to find out.
All right, so you're our guide on this treasure hunt today.
hmm
Help me understand this. Why are these stocks even considered undervalued right now?
Well, the whole idea of value investing is key here.
Okay, value investing.
Yeah, think Warren Buffett. He's like the king of this. Basically, you're buying when everyone else is selling. When there's fear, when things are uncertain, that's when some really solid companies can get overlooked. Their prices drop, even though they're still strong.
So it's like finding a designer dress on the clearance rack just because people are distracted by the new stuff.
That's actually a great analogy.
Yeah.
And this strategy, it might be even more important now, with how the market's been acting.
How so?
Well, you've got Goldman Sachs predicting a lost decade for the S&P 500, which basically means slow growth ahead.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound great.
Not really. So finding these undervalued companies, it's like finding a safe haven. A place to put your money where it might actually grow, even if the rest of the market is kind of flat.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's dive into our first company, PayPal, PYPL. It's interesting because they just hit a new 52-week high, but before that, their stock was basically flatlining.
Yeah, kind of stalled out. But that recent surge, it's making people pay attention. Some analysts are getting pretty optimistic. Mizuho Financial, for example, they put a $100 price target on PayPal.
A price target. What exactly does that mean? Remind me.
Sure, a price target, it's basically an analyst's best guess at where they think a stock price will be in about a year.
Yeah.
It's based on their analysis of the company, how well they're doing financially, if they're growing, things like that. But it's important to remember, it's just a guess, not a sure thing.
Got it, yeah. So for PayPal, this $100 price target, it's a potential upside of 23.6%.
Right.
That's a pretty good return.
Mm.
But what really caught my eye was all this big institutional buying that's been happening, like International Assets Investment Management. They increased their holdings in PayPal by almost 10,000%, 9,864% to be exact.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's massive.
And it tells us something. We're not talking about some small investor here. Institutional investors, they manage tons of money, like pension funds, big endowments. When they make a move like this, it means they're seeing something promising.
So they're basically saying, we've done our homework and we think PayPal's a good bet.
Exactly.
All right. Well, speaking of big bets, let's talk about Alphabet, GOOG. They had that 12% drop recently, but then bounced back pretty quickly. Is this just a temporary blip, or is there something more to worry about?
Well, every stock has its ups and downs, right? The question is, are those changes in price based on what's really happening with the company? With Alphabet, Truist Financial has set a price target of $220, so they're clearly seeing potential for growth.
That price target, it translates to a potential upside of 34.2%. Not bad at all for a company as big as Alphabet.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And here's something crazy. Remember that institutional investor who went all in on PayPal?
International Assets Investment Management.
That's the one. Well, they also made a gigantic increase in their Alphabet holdings, like 43,000%.
Wow. So they're liking both PayPal and Alphabet.
They're seeing something in both of these companies.
It's not just random. They clearly know what they're doing.
Right, this isn't just blind faith. They're seeing something that justifies these huge investments. And it's not just about their main businesses either. Alphabet, they've got all these interesting projects going on, like their self-driving car company, Waymo.
Right, Waymo. That could be a game changer if they can pull it off.
Yeah, huge potential there. So we've got PayPal bouncing back, big investors are on board, and then Alphabet with its steady growth and all these exciting side projects.
Makes you think.
It does. Now let's move on to ASML Holding. ASML. They're a big deal in the semiconductor industry, but they had a rough time recently, a 16% drop after a disappointing earnings report.
Ouch. That's a pretty big hit.
Yeah, it is. Does this mean they're in trouble?
Not necessarily. Remember, we're talking about value investing here. Finding those companies that have been unfairly punished by the market. ASML, even after that drop, their value is pretty much what it was before COVID.
So it's like the market is still holding a grudge from something that happened years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And that could be a buying opportunity, right?
Yeah.
For those who think ASML is going to recover.
Exactly. And some people are definitely optimistic. JP Morgan Chase, they have a price target of 1,148% for ASML. They think it's going to bounce back big time.
That price target, we're talking a potential gain of 61.8%.
Yeah, that's a big rebound.
And you want to hear something else? You're not going to believe this. International Assets Investment Management, that same investor we've been talking about, they increased their ASML holdings by a mind-blowing 94,079%.
Whoa. They're really going all in on these companies.
It's like they're seeing something the rest of us are missing.
It definitely makes you wonder. But before we jump to conclusions, it's pretty wild, right? This one investor making these huge bets on all three of these companies.
It's like they have this insider knowledge,
Yeah.
Like they're seeing something that everyone else is missing.
Yeah, their strategy seems to be find these companies with strong fundamentals, companies that have been maybe unfairly discounted by the market, and then just wait for the rebound.
They're playing the long game.
Exactly. And they're putting their money where their mouth is, that's for sure.
Okay, but let's not get too caught up in what this one investor's doing. Let's talk about the companies themselves. We've got PayPal, PYPL, showing signs of life again. Alphabet, steady growth, plus all those exciting projects like Waymo. And then ASML may be ready for a comeback in the semiconductor world.
Right, and each of those companies, they're in a different industry, each with its own set of challenges and opportunities.
So let's break it down, starting with PayPal. They're huge in online payments, but there's more and more competition these days. How are they staying ahead?
Well, they're not just sitting still. They're always coming up with new stuff, expanding what they offer. It's not just online checkout anymore. They're doing peer-to-peer payments, mobile wallets, even cryptocurrency stuff. Plus, they're buying other companies to get a bigger foothold in certain markets.
So they're evolving, keeping up with the times.
Exactly. Now let's switch gears to Alphabet. Their bread and butter is search and advertising, of course, but man, they have their hands in so many different things.
I know, it's almost hard to keep track. Cloud computing, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars. Where do they even stop?
It can be overwhelming, but it helps to think of them as like a bunch of different businesses all under one roof. Each one has its own growth potential, its own revenue stream. Search and advertising, that's still the big moneymaker. But Google Cloud, their cloud computing platform, that's growing like crazy too.
Yeah.
And then there's Waymo, which we talked about earlier. Autonomous driving, that's a huge potential market if they can crack it.
It's like they're planting seeds everywhere, seeing what takes root.
That's a good way to put it. Now, ASML, they're a bit more under the radar, but super important to the whole semiconductor industry. What do they actually do?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself. Something to do with computer chips, right?
Yeah, they make the machines that make the chips. They're the leading provider of what are called lithography systems. These are crazy, complex, high-tech machines that use light to basically etch patterns onto silicon wafers. And those wafers, they're what computer chips are made of.
So they're not making the chips themselves, but they're making the tools that are essential for chip manufacturing.
Exactly. And the demand for those tools, it's only going to increase. I mean, think about it. Everything needs chips these days. Smartphones, computers, cars, even refrigerators. ASML is right at the center of all that.
So they're in a good spot to benefit from the growth of the semiconductor industry.
Definitely. But it's not without risks. The semiconductor industry, it's kind of boom or bust. Sometimes demand is through the roof, sometimes it dries up. And ASML's technology, it's super expensive, so they don't have a ton of competition, but it also means there's a high barrier to entry.
So there are definitely risks involved.
Oh, for sure, like with any investment. But the potential rewards are huge too. If they keep innovating, if they keep meeting the demand, they stand to make a lot of money.
Okay, so we've talked about what each company does, the industries they're in. Now let's talk valuation. How do we even know if a stock is undervalued?
Well, there are some metrics that analysts use, things like price to earnings ratio, price to sales ratio, price to book ratio. Basically, they're comparing the stock price to the company's earnings or their sales or their assets. It gives you a sense of whether the stock is cheap or expensive compared to other similar companies.
So it's not just about looking at the price of the stock. You have to look at the company's performance too.
Exactly. But remember, valuation is not a perfect science. There's always some guesswork involved. Different analysts might come up with different valuations, and the overall mood of the market, that plays a role too.
It's not just numbers. There's some intuition involved, too.
Absolutely. You need a good understanding of the company, the industry, the whole market environment, which brings us back to international assets investment management. They seem to have a knack for this, finding those undervalued companies. They're doing their homework, that's for sure.
Okay, so we've looked at the companies, their industries, the idea of valuation. Now let's talk risk. What are some things investors should watch out for with these stocks?
Well, like I said before, the semiconductor industry, it goes up and down. So ASML, they're vulnerable to any slowdown in demand. PayPal, they're facing more and more competition in the payment space. And Alphabet, well, they're in so many different businesses, they're facing all sorts of regulatory and competitive pressures.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket, even if it seems like a really good basket.
Exactly. Spread the risk around. And you have to think about the bigger economic picture, too. Inflation, interest rates, what's happening in the world, all of that can affect stock prices.
So it's not just about picking the right companies. It's about understanding the whole context they're operating in.
Right. And that means staying informed, doing your research, maybe talking to a financial advisor if you need help.
Good advice. Wow, this has been a deep dive for sure. We've covered a lot. Value investing, the semiconductor industry, all sorts of stuff. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing.
Okay, what's that?
We've been talking a lot about the numbers, stock prices, valuations, potential profits. But these companies, they're not just numbers on a screen. They're shaping the future of technology. Their impact goes way beyond Wall Street.
You're talking about the social and ethical side of things.
Exactly. PayPal, they're changing how we think about money and transactions. Alphabet, they have a huge influence on information and artificial intelligence. And ASML, their technology is driving all these advances in healthcare, transportation, all sorts of fields.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. They're not just making products, they're changing the world.
And that's something to consider when you're making investment decisions. It's not just about making money. It's also about supporting companies that are doing good in the world.
Absolutely. Aligning your investments with your values, that's a powerful thing.
All right, so we've really dug into these companies. We talked about their industries, how they're valued, the risks involved, and even the bigger impact they have on the world. Time to put it all together.
What's really interesting to me is how this whole deep dive, it's like we've been watching a real-life investment strategy play out. This idea of finding undervalued companies, companies with good fundamentals, even if they're not the hottest names on the market right now.
Yeah, like we've been following this one investor, International Assets Investment Management, seeing what they're doing and trying to learn from it.
Right. And they're not afraid to be different. They're zigging when everyone else is zagging, looking for value where others might see risk.
So, for our listeners out there who are thinking about investing, what are the big takeaways here?
Well, I think the first thing is don't just follow the hype. A popular stock isn't always a good investment. And on the flip side, a stock that's not doing so hot, it doesn't automatically mean it's a bad investment.
It's all about looking deeper, understanding the company's real worth.
Exactly. Do your research, read those analyst reports, form your own opinions, and remember, diversification is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Spread the risk, build a portfolio that matches your goals, your comfort level with risk.
And remember, investing, it's a long game. Don't freak out over every little up and down in the market. Focus on the long-term potential of the companies you choose.
This deep dive, it's given everyone a glimpse into what it takes to be a smart investor. We talked about how to value companies, how to spot potential problems, even how to think about the impact your investments are having on the world.
And remember, the investment world is always changing, but those basic principles of value investing, they never go out of style. Find good companies, be patient, and don't be afraid to think differently.
Great advice. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into undervalued tech stocks. Hope everyone enjoyed it, learned something new, maybe even got a little inspired. Until next time, happy investing.